Hello and welcome to SBS News at 10. I'm Annalise and this is Jordan. Breaking news just in. There has been a of San Francisco. It measured an astounding 6.9 on the Richter scale. There are 273 people dead and over 600 injured. Now to studio experts Daniel Lewis.
Thanks, Anna. Here are the muffins. Lewis and Danny, little and
large.
This is the core, the mantle and the crust.
The crust of the Earth is made up of several different plates, along here, and when they collide, they can cause earthquakes and volcanoes. Next slide, Igor.
Yes, Master.
The San Andreas earthquake was measured at 6.9 on the Richter scale.
The Richter scale goes from 1 to 10, each number being 10 times bigger than the one before it. So 3 is therefore 10 times as big as 2, and 4 is 100 times bigger than 2. So 6.9 is pretty big. Next slide, Igor.
Yes, Master.
This is the San Andreas fault. This is where the two conservative plate margins move past each other. Like so.
Next slide, Igor.
Yes, Master.
Conservative plate margins, if you put your knuckles together and try and move them, it is very hard. And as soon as they do move, they will slip. There's that much pressure building up. And that's what's happened to the San Andreas fault here. Next slide, Igor.
Yes, Master.
This is eventually what will happen to California.
The epicentre of the earthquake, or the point above where the earthquake began and is strongest, was 70 miles south of San Francisco, about here.
On earthquakes, we never know when the big shake is about to come, like this pencil.
See, we knew it was going to break, but we didn't know when or where.
Back to
the
you in the
studio.
studio.
Thanks Daniel and Lewis. Next we'll go to Candlestick Park where Oakland A's and San Francisco Giants were playing in the World Series final. So over to you, Shanice.
Thank you, Jordan. I'm here at Candlestick Park where it was the World Series final between the San Francisco Giants and the Oakland A's. The match was abandoned and 60,000 people were evacuated. Fortunately, none were killed. I'm here with Flash Arnold, the captain of the Giants, Max Power, the legendary pitcher, and Michael Barnes. What was your reaction to the earthquake?
Well, I was like, whoa, and he was like,
Whoa!
and he was like,
Whoa!
we're all like,
Whoa!
How do you feel?
Well, I can now describe the fear I felt as I fell to the ground. I just hope my family and my dad Jim's alright. The whole stadium was shaking, you know.
This guy here, well, the Oakland team captain just struck the winning home run when the earthquake struck. And the ball went a bit off course, you see. It hit him in the beep with a 94-mile-an-hour pitch.
He was our coach for like 10 minutes. I can kill it. Beep, beep, Oakland player.
Right, thanks all of you. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Shanice.
Now we'll go to Nimitz Highway where 1 mile of the top section collapsed, crushing 250 cars and wagons to just 1 foot. Now over to Laura and Rachel.
Thank you, Annalise. I'm on the northwest end of the Nimitz Highway, where 1 mile of the highway collapsed. At least 250 people were crushed to death and 100 people trapped. It was rush hour when the earthquake hit, so the roads were very busy. Here we have Harry, who was a passenger of a car which was crushed. Tragically, the driver was crushed to death, but Harry was cut from the car by firefighters and miraculously suffered minor injuries. Harriet, you're obviously very shaken from this experience, but what did you see?
It was terrifying. All I saw was the top deck and concrete fall from what seemed sky. It hit the driver's side of the car, so my brother was crushed to death. It was heartbreaking to see him left in the car as I was safely brought out with only minor injuries.
I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you recover quickly. Now over to Rachel at the southeast end of the highway.
Thank you, Laura. Here we have a woman who was driving across the Nimitz Highway when the earthquake began. Emma, how did you feel when you first realised your daughter had died in the earthquake?
I felt helpless. I couldn't leave her, but the paramedic told me he would get my daughter after me, but he needed to get me out before I was crushed. He pulled me out and grabbed my daughter. It was too late. She had died from a crash.
You are clearly devastated about the loss of your child. Can you describe the situation when the earthquake began?
I was driving home from work and I had just picked up my daughter from nursery, and I was driving across the highway. The ground began to shake. I instantly knew it was unsafe.
This sounds very frightening.
It was, especially as I heard about other earthquakes in this area.
Thank you for being interviewed, Emma. I am thinking about you and your loss, and I'm sure everyone watching this, including Jordan and Annalise, are as well. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Laura and Rachel. Now we can go over to Bay Bridge, where part of the top section collapsed and one person drove their car over the edge. So over to Megan for more information.
Thanks, Jordan. I'm at Bay Bridge, the double-deck bridge that links Oakland to San Francisco. Part of the top deck has collapsed. This is going to cause serious traffic problems, including emergency services that will struggle to get to where they are needed. I have 2 people here that have witnessed this. Hello, so tell me, what happened here?
I was driving behind this car for quite a way when it just disappeared and I realized the bridge had collapsed.
How do you feel about being that close to driving off the edge?
Well, we were so thankful to God we saw it coming. Amen, brother.
Okay, what did you do when you realised that the bridge had, well, disappeared?
I slammed my foot on the brake and we stopped just in time. We braked so hard, I got whiplash.
Well, it's better than driving off the edge.
Sure is.
Well, thank you two, and Aaron, I hope that neck's okay. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Megan. And now we'll go downtown to where buildings are swaying 8 foot apart. Over to you, Alice.
Thank you, Annalise. This is a downtown area in San Francisco, where the buildings are swaying side to side up to 8 feet. Window glass is shattered, but no major damage. The only surviving buildings are the new ones. This is because they have been built to sway and survive. I have Jack here. Hello, Jack.
Hello.
Were you in the building when the earthquake hit?
I was inside the building when the earthquake happened.
What was your reaction?
My first reaction was just to crouch under a table like they told us to in school.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking that the building was coming apart, but luckily all it did was sway.
What were you doing at the time the earthquake hit?
I was just going down the stairs. It was lucky I didn't get outside, otherwise I would have been crushed or cut by falling glass.
Thank you, Jack. And back to the studio.
Thanks, Alice. Now over to the residential area, Fisherman's Wharf, where the worst fires took place. So over to you, Sebastian.
Thanks, Anna. I'm here at Fisherman's Wharf and I'm about to interview a witness to this terrible disaster. So, Matthew, how does it feel to have seen and watched all the buildings collapse?
Yes, I was horrified. I've never seen anything like it. It's burning really quickly and the firefighters are trying to get the water from the bay.
Yes, it must be really hard for them. Just imagine if you were one of them people seeing your house burn down.
I know that's who I feel sorry for the most. I hope they put it out.
Okay, thanks Matthew. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Sebastian, and finally we shall go over to Simon, who is interviewing the President live from the White House.
Thank you, Joe. I'm here at the White House with the President and Vice President talking about the incident in San Francisco. The President reacted, it was quite an uproar when the President reacted slowly to the disasters in Florida, but the government has reacted quickly to counter the disaster and earthquake at San Francisco. What do you think, President Hess?
Today there was an earthquake at 5:04 p.m. in San Francisco. This is a terrible disaster for the United States. I am very proud of our emergency services reacting the way they did. Our American spirit will take us through this dreadful period. I am sending out there my Vice President to these terrible areas. He is taking 10,000 guards out and flying out on Air Force One. And also my regards go out to the people who have lost family and friends in this disaster. Let's hope we can get this sorted as soon as possible. And now over to Vice President Dillon.
Tonight I'm flying over to California on Air Force One with 10,000 National Guards to help out all the extremely good citizens that helped and risked their own lives for others. I'm extremely proud of these people and I'd like to say thank you. I'm also flying over to see how we can minimise the devastation if this happens again.
Thank you both for your comments. That's all from me here. Back to you at the studio.
Thank you for watching this special report. We will have more updates throughout the night.
So goodbye and good night.